So. Also. Aufpassen. Hier gibt es nämlich unter Umständen verstörende Bilder. Ja gut, es soll halt ein Horrorspiel sein. Wobei es auch sagen wir, es ist auch ein bisschen Visual Novel Style. Zudem könnte es, flackernde Bilder haben oder flackernde Effekte. Falls jemand also zu Epilepsie neigt, dann sollte er das vielleicht nicht anschauen. Gut, also es könnten eventuell ein paar leicht verstörende Bilder zu sehen sein. Ich hoffe, sie sind nicht zu verstörend für euch. Deshalb lege ich jetzt einfach mal los. Black Tabby gehen. Also schauen wir uns mal an. Start Spiel. Kapitel 1. Der Held und die Prinzessin.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Ja, also ich bin im Wald auf einem Weg und am Ende des Weges ist eine Hütte. Und im Keller der Hütte ist eine Prinzessin.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Und ich bin natürlich hier, um sie zu töten. Anscheinend wird die Welt auch enden, wenn ich es nicht mache. Okay. Aber wie wurde sie gefangen? Und wer hat sie gefangen? Warum hat derjenige, der sie gefangen hat, sie nicht einfach getötet? Hä? Das Ende der Welt? Wovon sprichst du? Was meinst du? Hast du vielleicht mal darüber nachgedacht, dass der einzige Grund, warum sie die Welt zerstören könnte, es sein könnte, weil sie eingeschlossen wurde? Eine Prinzessin zu töten scheint ziemlich bösartig zu sein, oder? Kann das nicht jemand anders machen? Vergiss es. Ich mach das nicht. Oder, hast du vielleicht, hast du es nicht in Betracht gezogen, dass ich eventuell wollen könnte, dass die Welt, dass das Ende der Welt kommt? Dann hier, okay, Oh, okay, danke, dass du mir sagst, was ich tun soll. Oder, schön. Ich wollte schon immer einen Monarchen, einen Monarchen auslöschen. Es lebe die Revolution. Einfach hingehen oder zurückgehen und weg. Ja. Ja, wovon redest du überhaupt?
Talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Natürlich. Ist doch schön, wenn nicht viele Leute mehr da sind. Also, manche würden dem zustimmen. Also, manche würden das feiern.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Ja. Ich glaube eigentlich nicht, dass alle auf mich zählen. Eigentlich nur du und... Hä? Hast du irgendwie Beweise, um das zu untermauern?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Ja, hä? Ja, wieso bin ich überhaupt auf dem Weg hierher? Kann doch sein, dass du der Böse bist, oder?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Das lässt sich aber meiner Meinung nach gar nicht wirklich beweisen jetzt aktuell, oder?
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Naja, die Ansicht lässt sich unter Umständen anzweifeln. Also nicht nur unter Umständen, allgemein.
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Warum bin ich der Einzige, der das
Like I
machen kann?
said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Wirklich?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Wer weiß, ich bin doch eigentlich abgrundtief böse.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Naja, gut, schau mal. Ich gehe jetzt in die Hütte und werde mit ihr sprechen. Und wenn sie so schlimm ist, wie du sagst, dann werde ich sie vielleicht umbringen. Aber ich verspreche dir absolut nichts, bis ich nicht die Chance hatte, mit ihr zu sprechen.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Okay.
Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Na dann rein.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Nehme ich die Klinge mit? Also das Messer? Na, ich nehme es mit.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Ja, wer sagt denn, dass ich unbedingt die Prinzessin töten werde? Oh, jetzt gehe ich runter.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Oh, okay. Aber die Stimme ist eigentlich noch nicht so gefährlich.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Klingt eigentlich noch normal.
Oh,
Hi.
it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Ja. Bin nochmal da, um nach dir zu sehen.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Was? Kein Fall. Warum würdest du das überhaupt denken? Oder? Okay, ja, du hast mich ertappt. Ich bin hier, um dich umzubringen. I haven't decided yet. Also ich habe mich noch nicht entschieden. Ich bin eigentlich nur hier, um mit dir zu sprechen. Ich habe mich da noch nicht zu entschieden.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Ja, warum nicht?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Okay, ich lasse es mal fallen.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Oh, der Effekt hier im Hintergrund ist cool.
We'll be fine. don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
Ja, ich könnte das gebrauchen. Das stimmt.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Ja, es ist ziemlich awkward. Eine Beziehung? Machst du dich etwa an mich ran? Ja, ich glaube nicht, also gut. Wie könnte ich dich hier rausbekommen? Ich bin hier, weil du das Ende der Welt bringen wirst. Da gibt es Leute draußen, die denken, dass du eine Gefahr für die Welt bist. Was sagst du dazu? Wie heißt du? Wie lang bist du schon hier? Weißt du, warum ich hier bin, um dich zu töten? Okay, wir haben genug geredet. Ja, es ist ziemlich unangenehm.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Mir wurden Dinge erzählt. Aber ich weiß nicht, was ich glauben soll.
Believe me.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
Ja, klingt logisch.
You can't.
Wie
Don't
könnte ich
bother.
dich denn hier rausbekommen?
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
Tja, wer weiß?
She is. I'm sure of it.
Werd wohl, also sie meint bestimmt, dass ich den Arm abschneiden könnte.
Do you?
Tja, ich weiß, was mir gesagt wurde. Ob ich das glaube oder nicht, ist eine ganz andere Geschichte.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Too long.
Ja, zu lang.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Gut, dann haben wir genug geredet.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Tja. Ich würde sagen, ich lass dich hier raus.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Tja. Ja, und wenn es keinen Schlüssel gibt, hast du da irgendeine Idee? Außer, dass ich dich da rausschneiden soll?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
Na ja, alles gut. Ich kann einen Arm weniger vertragen.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Ich probiere mal die Tür.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Na gut, dann muss ich halt wieder runter.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
Ja, aber das wäre doch auch eigentlich viel zu langweilig, oder?
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Safe. Ich rette sie.
Against your better judgment, you press
Oh.
the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Ja. Dann los, raus.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
Warum eigentlich
The
nicht?
princess approaches the bottom stair. Your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Was soll denn das?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do
Was
that.
habe ich eigentlich hier für eine Hand?
Watch me.
Slay, 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 slay. Warn her. Nimm das.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Ich widerstehe.
The blade. Move the blade.
Nein.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
So kalt.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Okay. Kapitel 2. Der Gefangene. Oder die Gefangene.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ich habe hier ein fürchterliches Déjà-vu.
A terrible sense of déjà vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Wirklich?
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out.
Ach, einen Skeptiker
For us
habe ich
and
jetzt.
For the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Das ist mehr als nur ein Déjà-vu. Ich bin sicher, dass das Ganze schon mal passiert ist.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Sagen wir mal, ich erzähle die Wahrheit. Und alles ist schon mal passiert. Warum sollte ich auf dich hören? Warum sollte ich überhaupt irgendwas tun?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us.
That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
Sure you are.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Tja, das werden wir wohl gleich herausfinden, ob wir in eine andere Welt gelangt sind.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts.
Lass uns nochmal über diese Prinzessin reden.
Just be quick about it.
Der einzige Grund, warum sie mich töten konnte, war, weil ich sie gelassen habe. Und alles, was sie getan hat, war meine Kehle aufzuschneiden. Wie soll das bitte das Ende der Welt herbeibringen?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets.
Ja, dann schaue ich mal in meine Tasche.
You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front.
Der Beweis. Oder die Beweise.
Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth." That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
Er ist aber trotzdem sehr verdächtig.
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to?
Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk.
I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
People locked
Wer hat sie denn dort eingesperrt?
And I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Das ist nun mal nicht so einfach. Wenn Leute sie dort eingesperrt haben, warum konnten sie die nicht umbringen? Warum fällt das jetzt alles auf mich zurück?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
Ja, und ich krieg dann alles ab, oder wie?
Capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps. But it's just the way things are.
Genau, Vorsehung.
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Ja, weil wir einfach der erste Idiot waren, der ihm über den Weg gelaufen ist.
Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
Warum? Du bist ziemlich kurz angebunden. Naja, nee, kurz angebunden würde ich jetzt nicht sagen. Du bist aber ziemlich, ja, du bist ziemlich komisch. Was verschweigst du mir?
I told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Ja, das verkompliziert nur alles, ganz bestimmt.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
Das ist alles.
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Genau, die ganze Welt. Die ganze Welt. Was mache ich später? Nee. Dahin. Geh erst mal hin.
A warning before you go any further.
Eine Warnung. Okay. Was hast du denn zu
She
sagen?
will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Zwinker.
Did you just say wink out loud?
Natürlich.
No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Ja, dann rein. Bleibt mir ja nichts anderes übrig.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Wirklich? Brauche ich das? Diese ganze Hütte ist ganz anders, als sie letztes Mal war.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
Tja, dann... Geh mal zum Spiegel.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Und jetzt bloß noch...
Rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Who am I? I don't know.
But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Natürlich nehme ich nochmal die
Take the
Klinge.
blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Sag denn, dass ich die umbringen will?
Good idea. Much
Vielleicht
less
kann ich sie immer noch
to go with blind hope
retten.
alone.
Geh mal rein.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
Tja, wer weiß.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves.
Oh, jetzt hat sie ja 3.
Binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless. That was there last time too, wasn't it? It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Ja. Finish the demo with the prisoner. Okay. Okay, Episode 1 bis 4 von Scarlet Hollow. There's 10 routes and 1 ending to find in the demo. And many more ways to die. Oh, cool. Dann machen wir natürlich nochmal. Machen wir das natürlich nochmal. Gut. Noch eine Runde. Wieder Kapitel 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Tja, gehen wir einfach mal hin.
That's the spirit.
Ich wollte schon immer mal einen Monarchen töten.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying.
Wirklich?
Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Dann gehen wir jetzt rein.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Was, die werde ich brauchen, die Klinge. Dann werde ich doch mal schauen. Dann nehme ich die Klinge jetzt mit.
From the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Mal schauen. Wirklich. Dann ab in den Keller.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Tja, dann einfach runter.
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Tja, dann gehe ich hin.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Ja, das habe ich jetzt auch gerade vor.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Probier's.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh, zu einfach.
This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Natürlich nicht, das war viel zu einfach.
It's over. Don't get all worked up.
We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
I really don't think you should do that.
And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Tja, was, wenn ich jetzt... Ach nee, das war ein Quicksave. Das.
You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding your breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one.
We definitely won't if you keep talking.
I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question?
Wait, what was that?
You know what that was.
That was the sound of a heartbeat, followed by another, and another.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Ja!
Something sharp digs into your side, the shock of it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy. Quick, let's get out of here.
It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now.
Da hat sie wohl recht.
See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you. For whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, Kapitel 2. The Razor?
You're on a path in the woods.
Rasierer?
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the
Oder was?
basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ist schon krass, dass das hier trotzdem noch weitergeht. Aber ich hab doch die Prinzessin schon getötet. Klar, sie hat mich auch getötet, aber ich hab sie definitiv erwischt. Warum bin ich schon wieder hier?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Are we sure we don't want to turn around and hightail it out of here? I really don't want to be stabbed to death again. Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed. But that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us. Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
Tja, dann gehen wir noch mal hin. Mal sehen, wie es diesmal aussieht.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying.
Ja, ganz bestimmt.
No, we can't go in there. Do either of you feel sick? Because I feel sick just thinking about that place. We're going to die again, and I bet it's going to hurt. It's good to be careful, but you're really not helping with all that talk about death and dying. Agreed. Just ignore that clown and stay focused.
Dann weiter. Mal sehen, wie es jetzt aussieht. Muss ja wohl ein bisschen anders aussehen als
The interior
zuvor.
of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Dann nehme ich die Klinge.
Take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay. Holding it feels a little better. Maybe we can make it through this.
Schnell runter. Ist ja alles ein bisschen runtergekommen.
The basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. That's right! Scraping! I told you she has something. I told you! That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
Is something wrong with that voice? I can hear her bloodlust.
Tja.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody, quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
We're not falling for it. She's tricking us. Can't you hear that threatening edge to her voice? She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down. Then it'll all happen again. If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
Sicher? Aha. Fortsetzung folgt. Na, noch eins geht bestimmt.
You're here.
So, jetzt gehen wir einfach mal. Ja, gehen wir einfach mal hin.
You make a warning.
So, ich kann doch eigentlich auch Reload machen. So. Du hast recht, sie ist tot.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Dann gehen wir jetzt.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of space.
Leere.
What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Ich habe eigentlich gehofft, dass ich ein besseres Ende bekommen würde, wenn ich die Welt rette.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward.
Ewigkeit.
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Hast du den Erzähler nicht gehört? Wir sind glücklich. Ich bin glücklich. Wir sind glücklich.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess.
Natürlich sind wir glücklich.
More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here.
The little voices' pleas fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Gutes Ende. Du hast es geschafft. Du hast du hast alle gerettet. Dann gehen wir nochmal hier hin. Und ich gehe wieder.
I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Das Einzige, was wichtig ist, wo ich nicht hingehe. Und die Hütte ist das, wo ich nicht hingehe.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Dann drehe ich mich um und gehe wieder.
Keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Gut. Ah ne, ist mir egal. Ich töte keine Prinzessin. Oder, gut, vielleicht sollte auch jeder sterben. Das ist das ist ihr Lohn dafür, dass sie mich hier in den Wald bringen und von mir verlangen, jemanden für sie zu töten. Du wirst mich nicht emotional erpressen, um das zu tun? Ja, ist mir egal.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Sehr gemein.
Is he the one pulling the strings here? Or is this the work of something else entirely?
Okay, dann gehe ich einfach noch ein bisschen in die andere Richtung.
Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Cool, jetzt sind's 4 Häuser. Nee, 5.
In every direction,
Noch mehr.
there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Ja.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend
Nope.
through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Fortsetzung folgt. Siehst du, man kann hier auch noch im zweiten Kapitel weitermachen. Ist auch toll. So, dann gucken wir noch mal eine Runde.
You're on a path, you're here to slay her.
So, ich würde sagen, das wird auch die letzte Runde dieses Spiels sein, also dieser Demo. Ich gehe jetzt nochmal hier hin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
So, dann gehen wir jetzt so rein.
The interior of the cabin is ablaze.
So, und dann gehen wir direkt in den Keller.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Oh, diesmal klingt's ein bisschen verschüchtert.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Tja, ich würde sagen, ich bin hier, um dich zu retten.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally...
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Das ist doch völlig egal. Quick save.
Okay.
Lass uns erstmal reden, genau.
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
Wie heißt du?
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Ist das eventuell dein Name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Tja, wenn ich die erste Person bin, die du eine ganze Zeit lang gesehen hast, was hast du denn gegessen oder getrunken?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Tja, okay, ich hol dich heraus. Bring mich nicht dazu, das zu bereuen.
You're
nee, ich
only
nehm
making
das.
this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
No, you're doing the right thing.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Ich schaue einfach mal oben nach und guck mal, was es dort oben gibt. Wenn es keinen Schlüssel gibt, ja, vielleicht gibt es dann was, womit ich dich hier befreien kann.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
Ja, als hättest du eine andere Wahl, irgendwo anders hinzugehen.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Is someone else here?
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are, you're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Na gut, dann gehe ich wieder runter.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Au!
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs.
Oh, die Klinge.
You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's
Das
a time to
Messerchen.
strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Ja, aber ich rette sie trotzdem.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Ja, wer weiß.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Na komm, ich warne dich.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Ich werde aber
The
widerstehen.
blade. Move the blade.
Na, fein.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh, wie gemein.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
Au.
I'm sorry.
Wie
She
gemein.
doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
Aber hier sieht man schon mal wieder, wie sehr das Vorgehen die Geschichte beeinflussen kann.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
Ja, so wie die sich jetzt hier verhält, das kann doch eigentlich gar keine böse Person sein.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
The Damsel. Mhm.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to...
Ja, das haben wir vorhin schon mal gesehen. Und dann nochmal zur Hütte.
A warning before you go any further. She will...
Ja, die wird...
Excuse me?
Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love.
Ganz genau.
Last time? What are you talking about?
I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Sometimes you better keep quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Dann schnell rein und dann gucke ich mir nochmal an, was passiert, wenn ich da jetzt ohne Messer
The
reingehe.
interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Na dann schnell rein.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
I was so worried about you. You remember me, right?
Ja, das hat doch geklappt. Und ich würde sagen, die restlichen Endings könnt ihr auch selber holen. Es ist ja schließlich eine Demo, die kann man auch kostenlos herunterladen auf Steam. Und man kann auch seine Achievements sammeln. Tja, also schaut's euch an. Mir gefällt's. Es macht sehr viel Spaß, auch die ganzen unterschiedlichen Verläufe, die man da haben kann. Und wenn's rauskommt, werde ich's mir definitiv auch holen. Wie gesagt, das Spiel heißt Slay the Princess. Das kommt, keine Ahnung wann es kommt, werden wir gleich sehen. Oder werde ich gleich sehen. Ja, irgendwann 2023 steht hier.